Welcome! Oh, we did it again! Oh no, why? Okay, hold on. This is live entertainment. You can't, I don't know why this is happening. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. I hope this will fix it now. It did it last time. Oh no. Oh no. Pure chaos. Oh no. Oh, well, welcome everybody already. Oh my God, okay. Okay, hold on. We'll go in quick intermission already. Something's wrong with the screens. We tried it earlier. I don't know what's going on. We'll be right back. Okay. Well, we'll fix it while we're talking, you know? That's just how we're going to do it. Why don't you... I'm very sorry. I honestly don't know what's going on. Something's not right with the cutouts. But, you know, we'll fix it as we talk. And why don't you guys start introducing yourselves while I fix the screen.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Thais, and I was the game designer of PileUp, one of the game designers.
And I'm Helen, and I was one of the graphic designers on PileUp.
And I'm Anna, and I'm the lead tester for PileUp. And you, Consti, who are you?
Well, I am Consti. You've probably seen me before. I'm the guy trying to fix the screen. Well, obviously we're celebrating, the release of PileUp on consoles specifically. So first of all, congratulations on that. While I try to move you back into frame. How has the porting experience been for you? Any general?
Okay, in general, we are not programmers, so we run the people for who it was the hardest. But yeah, the everything about the porting was quite alright, I guess. We had the chance to work with studios that are based in the same city as us, which is Angoulême in the south of France, southwest. It's the city of comic books.
International Comic Books Festival City.
But it's also quite the video game city, actually. There are a bunch of studios here. And we worked with La Poule Noire, which means the black chicken. Which is a cooperative, just like us, Seed by Seed, and they worked on the Nintendo Switch version, and with the Headband Club, who is an artists collective who worked on the Xbox One version. And internally we did the PlayStation 4 version. Yeah. Also go check La Poule Noire and Hetman Club because they also are developers and they are making quite terrific games.
Amazing.
We've asked this before during the. First of all, I'm getting chat messages that something's wrong with the cameras. I know. Thanks for the heads up. I have no idea why this is happening. The screen is somehow split in two. I'm trying to fix it as we go. This has never happened before. I'll do my best, but for now, I hope you can see everyone at least a little bit. And back to the conversation. We've asked this before during the PC release for PileUp. What was your inspiration to make a cardboard-themed game?
That one's for you.
Oh, thank you. Actually, the first idea of PileUp was a cooperative game where we had to pile up stuff, and we weren't sure at the time what could we use as our main direction artistically. So after thinking a lot about what do we pile up in everyday life, we arrived at the conclusion that cardboard boxes was something we tend to pile up a lot in our lives. So that's why we decided to create this old cardboard world where our main objective will be to pile up things.
Cool.
Yeah, and it was actually fun to have this cardboard thing driving up because, of course, it's driving the art direction, but also the sound design as well. And as a result, we have an amazing sound design, but also a bunch of cool pictures of our sound designer just like smashing cardboard boxes in the studio.
I guess you can see it right now, but our studio is kind of filled with cardboard boxes everywhere because we tend to use them a lot, look at them, how does it work, how can we be inspired by all those boxes, and they are staying here.
Yeah, you can see here, here. I mean, this one not the cutest, of course, but
Yeah.
also here. This one actually has a post-it tongue, but you can't see it.
Oh.
All right.
Was that the inspiration for the Licky Bob?
Is that the official name now, the Licky Bob?
Yeah, kind of. Actually, everybody got a different name for it. At the beginning, it was the sticky tongue, and actually, secret tips reveal. It's supposed to be tape,
Oh.
like
Yeah.
I don't know. We say scotch in
Rubber tape?
rubber tape.
No, sticky tape.
Sticky tape. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. It makes sense, of course.
This is
Makes
what
sense.
It
Yeah.
makes sense, yeah,
Especially with cardboard boxes, you
Yeah.
tape stuff together. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. It seems
That's good.
to look good again. Our stream again. I don't know what happened. I hope it doesn't happen again. I reset the graphics drivers, so maybe that will help. For now, it's looking good. Okay. Sorry for this. Well, that's just a live show, and then stuff like that is going to happen, I guess.
Can't see the problem solver.
Oof, well, hopefully it'll stay like this. Now I know. Well, hopefully know how to fix it again if it happens again. Anyway, so sorry. I was of course now only listening with like one ear because I was kind of panicking. Congratulations, of course, on this wonderful game. And release project. It's been a long time. It's been a long time coming. How long have you been working on PileUp? All in all, of course, the PC version has been out for a while, but all in all, from the inception of the idea to today.
If we really have to go to the beginning of the story, I guess that would be around September 2018. Right.
2017.
17?
Yes.
That's a long time ago. So
Yeah.
because it was at first, a long time ago, it was a student project that we did all together to finish our studies around the project. And since it looked not much like PileUp today, it was really a different prototype. But the main gameplay was there, the boxlings, characters were there. And since the team we had a good time.
Yeah,
and
it was really fun working together.
it was fun, the game was promising, and at that time the Nintendo Switch just went out, was announced at the time, so we wanted to keep continuing this, and we wanted to see this game on Nintendo Switch and other consoles. We thought it was a good idea. So in 2019 or 18 then? 18.
End of 2018.
We started our studio seed by seed and worked on it as professionals.
Full time. In the meantime, all of us were on internships actually to validate the study course. So that's why there is this gap. But yeah, we actually had the chance that our former school, Le CNAM was starting an incubation program, so we got the chance to integrate it. So we got like really a lot of help. We got offices. We actually here are inside the CNAM still these days. And so yeah, it really helped us kickstart the studio, and things got real. The studio officially was founded in March 2019.
2019.
2000.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
That would have been a long time ago. 2019. Longest studio ever.
Yeah, let's say 2019. It's easier this way. I don't like the big numbers. So yeah, as a student project, 2017. As professional, 2018. As a studio, 2019.
I see.
We keep on working on the game as different things.
Of course, of course.
And so yeah, we released on PC in March this year, and now on consoles.
Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to responses from the console players out there, because personally I've only played it on PC so far, but I've always played it using a controller. In this case, for me personally, it always depends on the game, but in the case of PileUp, I felt it was always better played with a controller.
Yeah, of course. Since we have another big number, 360 degrees control.
Yes.
But it's not mapped on the mouse on the PC control, because we wanted players to be able to play together even if they are playing on PC. So the control mapping is done so that you can play with two persons on the same keyboard. So using the mouse was not an option. The mouse, not the mouse, because it's not an option to play with your mouse. Not yet.
I mean,
we will do
if you try hard enough.
one time.
I've seen weirder things out there. People playing on bananas or whatever. People get creative sometimes.
Yeah, of course. Actually, there are controllers that you can use with the breath for some people who are not able to use their arm. But yeah, I mean, how to put it? It was more important for us to focus on the multiplayer than to focus on, since the game is not a one that demands players to be really skillful. You can get skillful, but this is not the core experience. It was more about the multiplayer, so we decided to sacrifice the 360 degrees controller for PC. So yeah, of course, it's better played with a controller. I think it's even written at the beginning of the game on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah. It's definitely recommended. We're getting messages already. Looking forward to getting this on the Switch. Yes. Yeah, I can imagine.
Me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's the perfect game for a console like the Switch as well. You know, it's as you said, it doesn't have to be demanding. It doesn't ask the player to be ultra skillful all the time. You can if you want to, or if you play it for long enough. But if you just want to casually hop about your day, you can do that. So that's pretty awesome. One thing that's interested me, or that struck me from a design perspective, I guess, everything is made of cardboard. Obviously, we've talked about this, but the player characters, the boxes, they are sort of squishy. They can sort of deform and bend and do uncardboardy things. How do you go about designing animations like that and characters like that to make them feel like they have a personality in a sense, but at the same time they're just empty boxes? Well, we don't know if they're empty actually. But they're what's in the box? We don't know. But basically made from paper. How does that work?
Well, I'm actually really happy you asked, because that was a big part of my work on PileUp. Cardboard was our main texture, our main drive for the graphic team. However, cardboard can be really stiff, a bit cold as a texture. It's brown, so we wanted it to be our pillar, but not the main focus. It was more an inspiration than a rule. So we know we wanted cardboard boxes, but it had to be cute boxes that were alive, actually, not rigid objects. So that's why we wanted something cartoony, a bit children-friendly, if I may say, even if I see it as a really open kind of game for all ages. So the squash and stretch effect could add really a cute and alive atmosphere to the game and to the characters. We asked ourselves, do we want them really to be boxes? Do we want the boxes to open? Do we want to know what's inside? But actually that's not a question we wanted players to think. We just wanted to think, those are boxes, they are alive, they have a personality, and go with the flow.
Yeah. I think that worked really well because, as you said, this was like literally the first time that I ever thought about, hey, what might be in those boxes? I never cared about it before because, ultimately, of course, it doesn't matter. It's these sort of lively animations, I guess, give it this almost magical, whimsical feeling of visually, it's all cardboard. I could, go home, cut everything out myself, paint it, and it would look like a PileUp set. But with real cardboard, it wouldn't feel like PileUp because it doesn't have this magical, magical is maybe a weird word, but you know what I mean, this sort of livelihood to it. And that
kind
really...
of a magic world where cardboard is alive and breathes.
So that really worked well. And then, of course, all these cute creatures and critters that you come across, the bats, the frogs, the hedgehogs that we've all seen before. Any reason why you chose these animals specifically, or?
It kind of feels like a puppet theater when I think about it. Like when you're a kid, you just cut out things and you play with them, and everything comes to life.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the puppet theater is an interesting thing to say because it was one of our main inspirations, and there were prototypes and concept arts where the puppet theater was more obvious, like in the hub, where we could change the little backgrounds to change the world, but it was abandoned, sadly, to create a hub a little bit more lively in a sense. So it was always somewhere in our minds, but never in the final game physically. But for the creatures, I'm not sure how we chose them. I know we wanted creatures a bit that we don't see that much, even if I'm not sure we made it as original as we wanted it to be. But we wanted creatures that were linked to the world and the object you found in it. So like in the first world, you have this sticky tongue or licky bob or whatever you want to call it.
Or the frog box.
Or
some people are
the
calling it
frog
the frog box.
And if you think about it, the box is green, the box has a kind of tongue that is going to catch things. So it's a frog, it's really a frog. And that's why the characters you meet in this world are frogs, so that everything is logic.
Yeah.
It makes sense, yeah.
The first creature that we had in the game was the kiwi. And actually the kiwi existed in the student prototype, the student version of PileUp.
Really?
It was coming from there. And so yeah, we just keep it because it I mean, we love it.
Yeah, I think if I had to choose the
PileUp for almost as much time as we do, so
He has a big backstory.
yeah, only him one.
I think if I had to choose, then also the kiwi, I should say, would be my favorite probably. It's just it's perfect in its little theater. You know, not to spoil anything for the people out there, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth watching the cutscenes. It's lovely.
I think the moment Hélène finished working on the cinematics was the moment we realized as a team that we were working on a real game. Like, okay, is this what we call the production value?
It's wonderful. I've been getting a message that it's difficult to hear us, understand us. It's only one person that's been complaining. If anybody else feels that way, let me know.
You can get closer.
I think maybe. I mean, I don't have trouble hearing you. The sound should be there. So well, we'll see. Only been one person complaining so far. We'll see. Another more maybe level design-y question would be introducing new mechanics like the licky bob, or sticky tongue, or whatever we want to call it. And then you have the springs and the hover boxes or rockets, or I'm assuming there goes a lot of planning into how and when you want to introduce these mechanics, so as to not overwhelm the player, and also make sure that it doesn't get boring, after a while. So how does that work? How do these sorts of decisions work?
So we were 3 different people working on the level design. I was one of them. And at the beginning, we wanted to have a lot more interactive items than there are in the final game. But actually, we realized that it was really overwhelming, and it wasn't something that allowed us to exploit the items at their full potential. So we try to refocus on having less items, but more versatile ones, so that you can use as problem-solving mechanics, but as toy as well. So we always chose to keep the items that were fun to use by themselves, even if there is not a special puzzle to solve. And also we tried to have items that that are that you want to try to use together. I don't really know how to explain that, but for example, the trampoline, it's an item, this is what we are calling, it's a forced top pile, meaning that you cannot put something on top of it. So if you want to transport it in a pile, it has to be the top. The effect that this has is that every time you got a new object, you want to throw it on the trampoline, of course, because you want to see if something is going to happen and how it's going to bounce. And it's the same for players, and you want to try it on top of something else. And it goes that way with basically every item. For example, okay, I can use the sticky tongue to grab something. I can use it to get somewhere as a hook. I can send an item somewhere because if I put the item, then the button is pushed and then the sticky tongue goes out, and then the item can go without me. I can like go without a friend because I'm leaving them on the other side or something. So yeah, we wanted to have items that goes well together and that can blend. And we chose to keep one per world because it was easier to introduce and vary and then mix up. And this is what we are trying to do in the progression. And of course, the more items we have introduced in the game, it changes the way we think about the level design. That this is something that you can see mostly in the last world, because you have all the items and all the gameplay elements are there. And this is actually why we chose to make it a theater, because it was, you know, this place where it's the place where magic happens, and you can have the lodge where you have all the things that can be useful, and you're the one choosing how to solve the things. And we thought that this was something that was going well with the way we chose to put the items and give them to the players.
All the different ways the items work and work together, as you just explained, that also sort of segues into the next topic that I would like to, well, acknowledge, I guess. Another theme is not the right word, but I guess design choice of PileUp is that there is a lot of freedom on how to solve a puzzle. I assume this is by design, and it works really well because obviously depending on what items maybe you bring with you from another room, or yeah, you can go about solving the next puzzle differently all the time, which I guess gives it a lot of replay value on one hand, and also a lot of room for improvement if you want to, for example, speedrun the game, you know, or get a good time on solving a puzzle. There's a lot of creativity to be had, I think.
Do you want to answer, or?
Best to answer that one.
Yeah, you're true. It's by design, of course, and it was actually one of the things we were really attached to. We didn't want it to make it a puzzle game in the sense of a puzzle is something that you can only solve one way, and there is like it's not even a solution, it's an answer. It's something like you have to answer and have the right answer. We thought more about it in terms of problem solving, and you have this situation, and you have to find not the way, but a way to go through and continue and pursue the path you were on. And of course, we had this speedrun thing in mind for a whole bunch of different reasons, but as long as you offer different ways to solve things and also different ways to get in touch with the character controller, it means that some people are going to have the speedrun feeling. As I was saying earlier, you don't have to be skillful to go through PileUp, but if you really are getting into it, for example, as Anna did, then you are going to be really good at how the characters are manipulated and how you can like make double jump, because you have a way in the game to do higher jumps, longer jumps and stuff like that. And once you get into that, into the way different boxes are working together, and also how to combine the dash, the jump, the heavy dash and stuff like that, then you have another world opening. You have completely new ways to play the game, either on solo or on multiplayer. And yeah, this is something that we were really attached to, and that's also one of the reasons that the game has no time pressure at all, never. You can solve it at your own path. But also, if you are doing all the hardest challenges of the game, then you unlock a timing mode, and you will never like get stopped during your run, but you'll be able to compare your performances if this is something that you'd like to do. Actually, a bunch of people did, and it's really fun to watch people speedrunning your game, actually.
I can only imagine. It's they always find, like these speedrunning communities always find such crazy ways to almost break the game even further, even beyond what is intended to work. And it's crazy, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of fun to watch. One thing that I really found super awesome when we found that out during playing the game here in the company was the ability to stop your jump mid-air by holding the dash button, and then, you know, that itself is like, okay, whatever, but then other players being able to jump on top of you and then go further, that was crazy to me. Like, looking back, it's kind of obvious. But when we found that out, I was so happy. It just opened so many new possibilities during multiplayer. It was crazy. That was really awesome.
We really thought the character moveset through, since what was really important for us was this multiplayer aspect, but also the fact that we wanted people with really different gaming habits to be able to play together. And the main focus was not that much playing together at the same time doing the same thing, but it was playing together but being able to help out each other. And so we wanted to have, for every situation where one player can do something and the other cannot, we wanted to have something that can make the both of them go through. So of course there is the piling mechanic, because if someone can't do something, then you just pick them up and bring them with you. But for example, if you dash, then you are going to drop what or who is on top of you. So we had to have a way to like solve this conundrum and having a solution for when you have to do something that imply dashing or something. And so we thought about being able to turn yourself into a platform, so that if someone has trouble performing a jump plus dash, for example, stuff like that, to have something. You also can kind of how to say it, tirer vers le haut.
Bring up.
Pull your friends up if you are higher than them and they just have to jump. And if you are actually using the piling button, then you can just get them where you are without them having to perform a double jump. So we always wanted to have this kind of mechanics to
Help
encourage and his players to help each other.
Kind of
But you can also
ultimate
just drop your
cooperative
friends.
mode. Yeah.
You can also just drop your friends in the void.
Of course.
Yeah.
We've all done that, of course. It's arguably just as much fun as solving the puzzles. So that, and also what I find great about it is that if you get, like, you can join and leave multiplayer sessions more or less at will, right? You just join another player and you can just then go on playing from where they were. But what I find really interesting and a great solution is that the game doesn't just get easier with multiplayer, it changes, like the way, or I guess the amount of help that you get from the game in form of items changes when you get more players in there, which is an awesome solution, I guess, for to not just make the game simple, for lack of a better term. When I need more boxes, I'll just connect a second controller and problem solved. That's of course not how it works. So that's great game design.
Thank you.
That's actually interesting to say, because one of our main, the first topic we had when we started PileUp as a professional game we wanted to see out on Steam and consoles was what is happening when we are 1 player, 2 player, 3 or 4 player. We wanted the game to adapt, and that was the first thing we did to how do we do puzzles and how do they change with the number of players. And the game is really different if you play alone or if you play with friends. And the difficulty will change, because if you're alone, it's more of a challenging problem. You have to think which box, where can I bring it? Whereas if you're with friends, the main, I'd say the difficulty will be in communication. The puzzles are really easy, but managing to make everyone do the good action at the right time, that's the real difficulty in PileUp multiplayer. So it's really 2 different games.
That is true. Yeah. There's, especially the timing sensitive puzzles are an experience when you're playing it with someone who's maybe not on the same wavelength as you are regarding the game. But that's
Sounds like every school group project back in the day.
That's kind of it. We played a lot of Overcooked while making
Nice.
whether the student project or the full game. This is a game that we love to play it, and also it's really inspiring because of what it does with the multiplayer mechanics and dynamics between players. Like most of the time when you play Overcooked, you have to have the chief because you have to have someone who's there to just think things through. I'm French. And if you don't have one person taking in charge of the organization, then it's not going to work out. And
chaos,
of course, it's not that demanding in PileUp since you don't have the time limits and the pressure. But if you want to go through it, it's good to have, it's the One Piece heroes team, like you have to have the problem solver, the skillful one, the one who makes sure that nobody's trying to kill each other. And then you can have really different roles like that, and yeah, it's fun. And then after that, you can go to the mini games and just like make a mess with each other.
That's a whole other topic. Yeah, the mini games. Just quickly, Tenta just said in Twitch chat, it all started as a group project. It must translate as a group project. So that's where that comes from, I guess. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good punchline, actually. We should use that.
The mini games. Another thing that when I heard about the Tick Pile Toe one, as an example, I remember when I think it was probably Anna who explained it to me. Yeah, it's tic-tac-toe, only it's not turn-based. And like, that doesn't make sense. How?
You're chaos.
What? That's just stupid. But and I guess in a way it is, but it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah, actually, we owe the incredible Tick Pile Toe pitch to the same person. We owe the general PileUp pitch. Actually, it was one of Jean's crazy ideas. He was the original pitcher of PileUp and one of the game designers as well. And yeah, it basically was the same when he said the exact same thing to us. It's like, yeah, it's tic-tac-toe, except it's not turn-based, it's real time. And we were like, yeah, great. But also, we have to try that. And then we tried it and said, okay, no, that's actually really fun.
It is really fun. It is
and
really
also
fun.
hard.
Yeah. The mini games are again quite in line with this. You don't have to be super skillful to play them, but if you play them again and again and again, you will get better actually. And there's actually a very high skill cap.
Yeah, and I think it's the place where differences between skill level in players actually create the more friction. If two not so good players are playing against two very good players, that they don't have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But
this is actually one of the reasons why we tried not to have only 2 versus 2 mini games, but also to have a 3 versus 1, free for all, and like different matches possible. And also every time you compose the team in the 3D space, so there are zones to concentrate the teams. So even if we recommend some games to be played free for all or 3 versus 1 or 2 versus 2, you actually can play each of them 3 versus 1 if this is more balanced. So this is the way we try to lesser the friction.
I mean, you can't stop people from improving their skill in a game.
Something that we want.
Yeah, exactly. It's always going to be, or maybe there is a genius solution that no one has thought of yet. But I think when there's a game or any activity, people who are more experienced will be better at it. That's just how it is. But yeah, I think the solution works, and especially with the different ways you can team up, it really helps balance certain groups, I guess. So, yeah. One other thing that I thought of earlier, and that's been on my mind, without wanting to spoil anything, the Kiwi dance is awesome, amazing. I love it. How did that happen? Like, I need to know.
How did it happen without spoiling? It's a bit hard.
Yeah, I know it's difficult.
But it's interesting to say that it's clearly each world had its cinematics and stories and characters, but the Kiwi is the one we had the most time for, since all the other were done. We were like, okay, this one is the last, it's the last of the game. It has to be worth it for the players to thank them for coming there. Moreover, it's the Kiwi, so we want him to have an important role in the game, since he's been there with us since the beginning. How say, I really don't want to spoil it, because that would be sad, but let's say that I was really hesitating on should we do it or not, should we do it as I thought it was a good idea or not. And we had a meeting with Thijs and our sound designer Anise, and I was like, okay, that's my idea, I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I think it will be fun. And they answered, well, if it's fun, go for it.
Yeah.
So we just did it. And I think the results, I personally think the end cinematic of the Kiwi's world is the best of the game. And if it's not, at least it's the one I had the most fun with. And I hope it's
It shows.
the fun, yeah.
It shows. I mean, it's obvious when you see that it was fun to make. And it was fun to like compose the music, and it shows.
Yeah. I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, it's also my favorite.
Yeah, I think it's from a I think overall it's also my favorite. It's the one that's a close second for me is the bats. Maybe not as much because of the animations themselves, but it's so well, like the area that these characters are in, the cinema, is so well thought out, and it works so well with the bats. Again, without spoiling anything, it all makes sense. Like, it looks silly when you see it first, but when you think about it, it all makes sense. I love that one as well. It's really great.
I mean, we had fun with this one as well.
Yeah.
The cinema was fun to make.
The brainstorms meetings were often quite funny.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
And also we were working with an intern at the time, Remy, who did an amazing job. He's actually the one who designed the posters in the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based on real movies. So if you want to search for them, you can. But yeah, it was really cool to have this place where we can display just stuff that we love and mix them with the world of the game. And Remy did an amazing job doing that, I think.
Definitely, yeah. I love the posters in the cinema.
They're great. They're really good.
He also did the paintings in the theater, hall, and restaurant.
Mm.
Really good.
Awesome.
Big up, Remy.
No, really, very well
Shout
done.
out to you.
All right. Is there anything else you want to share? Any of you?
I don't know. Well, first of all, thanks to all the people who were there with us.
Absolutely.
And were there from a long time for some of them, I guess. And thanks to my mom and dad.
Well, actually, I really hope that the console release of PileUp will make people play together, like in the same room, and families or roommates or whatever. I think console is the best way than computers to bring people together on the couch. So I really hope people will have fun and spend some good time with good people.
Yeah, and also you don't need these buttons to play PileUp, so you can do it with just one Joy-Con. It's going to be awesome. No worries.
One Switch, 2 Joy-Cons, have fun.
Exactly. That's the spirit.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm sure people will appreciate it much on console. It is a game that's made to be played together, of course, as we said earlier, as we talked about, you can definitely play it alone, and it's still a lot of fun. But the way you go about playing the game, I guess, alone is very different.
Yeah. And I mean, as Ellen said earlier, when PileUp was still a student project, it was the time where the NX became the Switch, and it was really this moment. And of course, we had the Switch in mind from the very beginning. It was like, because PileUp was heavily inspired by the stuff we were playing on GameCube and this generation of consoles that we grew up with. Of course, when the Switch was out, we were like, oh, it would really be awesome to have PileUp on Switch one day. And then there was the Nintendo Labo and all the cardboard stuff, and we were like, oh my god, amazing! It belongs to there.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true. The Labo. Yeah.
All the pieces of the puzzle are stacking together. And then yes, now today it is, and it's also going to be awesome on PS4 and on Xbox, because
Definitely.
I mean, it belongs on consoles for us. It's you have to be on the couch with your friends and a bunch of drinks on the table and just having fun together, and yeah.
For sure.
I guess we all need this.
Star aligned, chat says. That is right. We intend to have a small party and try PileUp this weekend. Can't wait. Awesome. Yeah.
Aww.
Wholeheartedly recommended. I'm glad it all worked out. For you, I mean, what people tend to forget, without accusing anyone, is there is a lot of work that goes into a game like this, or any game for that matter. So yeah, well deserved, great console release. Congratulations again, and well, thank you as well. Thank you for making PileUp.
Thank you. And thank you for testing PileUp.
You're welcome.
Probably wouldn't look the same without your testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found a bug or two.
Yeah.
Or two.
But now it's great.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. Like any piece of software will have bugs in some form, and yeah,
Of course.
that's why you have Anna
Yeah,
chasing
of
down
course.
all the bugs, and then
Yeah. And
Make-
you kids out there, never forget that we all need QA.
absolutely.
Respect QA, give us QA.
In fact, if there's anything that we all need, it's more QA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Again, congratulations. Happy release. Maybe you'll be able to celebrate a little bit even tonight. And yeah.
We intend to.
Yeah, we do.
And for everybody out there, enjoy PileUp. It is available as we speak on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Switch. And PC,
Yeah.
of course, as well. It has been available on PC for a while, and it still is. We're not taking that away.
Yeah. And I mean, the PC version got the undeniable advantage that you can use Steam Remote Play or Parsec to play it online.
Yes.
If you don't have the chance to play it together, since there is no online mode on consoles, but on
Absolutely.
PC it is.
Yeah. Gonna pile them up, they say. Awesome. See you soon on Switch. Awesome. Well, have fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll show you out there the trailer one more time, and then it's time to say goodbye. Until
Well,
next time.
Thank you for being there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.